Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you all. Delighted to have you all for day 2 of America's Future Series, our class summit. And we are really excited about having you on board. We're going to be here till later this afternoon. For those of you that were with us in day 1, we have heard nothing but great reviews, and that's exactly what we want. So thank you, everybody that was a part of it. Whether you were a spokesperson, whether you were an interviewer, an interviewee, or maybe one of our incredible sponsors, we thank you all very, very much. And certainly to those of you that were viewers of what we shared with you yesterday, we're glad that you're back for day 2. My name is Scott Murray from Murray Media. We're here in our Murray Media studios in Dallas, Texas, and we're going to be here again, as I said, throughout the afternoon. And seated to my right, the man who started this all. Gosh, how many years has it been now, for Pete's sake?
13 years.
That's yeah. This is the birthday time, right?
This is the birthday month, if you will.
The lucky 13 birthday. I'm talking about David is just above and beyond. He is the one that created this. He's the one that David Hamilton created this, and of course is the CEO of America's Future Series, and continues to do all the incredible things that this organization does every single day. So to you, first of all, happy birthday on number 13.
Thank you.
It is a lucky year.
We're a teenager.
It is a lucky
Tween.
year. All right.
Whatever.
And America's Future Series, for somebody that might be tuning in that was not a part of what we did yesterday, what would you share with them?
So the America's Future Series tries to provide a forum for a nonpartisan, collaborative discussion on issues that impact U.S. global competitiveness and national security. So our benefactors, our mentors, people like Ross Perot Sr., T. Boone Pickens, Randall Stevenson of AT&T, Herb Kelleher, and others. They wanted to have this this forum for a discussion where people could have honest discussions about serious matters, et cetera, and create an ecosystem. So we created the America's Future Series to do that, and also to raise money and awareness for worthy causes that we care about. And so through the proceeds and from donations from benefactors like T. Boone and others, we've raised about $7 million.
That's awesome.
For different charities, and in particular for our military. We're really big supporters of our military and their families.
Well, I was going to ask you that, David, before we move on with our program today. I just wondered, as you look back, I mean, this was your vision. And even though you talked about some of those incredible men that we've all come to know, I just wondered, what is it that you're proudest of, or that you cherish most about what you've been able to do over the last 13 years? And as you look back, you say, you know what? I'm glad we did this. We're moving forward. What comes to mind? Just kind of your legacy.
Yeah. So, well, I'm really happy that we were able to connect people.
Okay.
That this is a ecosystem that connects people who want to get something done, right? Because there's a lot of innovation theater. There's all kind of talks about it. Gosh golly, this is important, and we give lip service to that, right? But by connecting some of the people we've connected, we've either raised money for a worthy cause, we raised awareness for them, or we've connected people in the military with the private sector, great companies like Comtech and others, and figured out better ways so they can work together. Entrepreneurs, people who have a better mousetrap, and get them with investors, et cetera, to put capabilities in the hands of the warfighter faster. Because we don't believe in fair fights. We do not want our warriors to have to be in a fair fight ever again, right? So I think we've accomplished that by bringing people together. It's the connectivity, right? Helping people grow their business, people support the mission of our national security apparatus and all those organizations. That's what I'm proudest of, that all the volunteers who believe in this mission have come together to try to connect people so that something good happens. We like to say that we don't want to move the needle. We want to break the needle off in the backside of our near-peer adversary. So we want to make something happen, and I feel very good about that.
Well, let me simply say congratulations. Well done. It's an incredible legacy you've created. So let's move forward with day 2 of our class summit. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready, and I think we have to start, like you said, with recognizing and appreciating Ken Peterman of Comtech for being our title sponsor.
Absolutely.
Leaders like Major General Kim Kreider, who've helped us put this thing together, bring a lot of people together, all the volunteers, Meredith Walker, our staff. We've got, of course, you. Murray Media wouldn't be possible without you, Murray Media. I appreciate your being a partner with us and all of that.
To be a part of it.
So anyway, with that, and so we always like to start the day to give people a sense of what happened yesterday, what's coming up. Because Ken Peterman, who's with us, who's not only a friend, but a brilliant executive leader, et cetera, he's a deep thought leader, and he does a really good job of summarizing, no pressure on you, sir, does a great job of summarizing things and summarizing at the end of the day, what did we learn, the takeaways.
Right.
So,
well, I called him a rock star yesterday because indeed he was. He was above and beyond.
So welcome, Ken. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. Listen, David, it's great to hear you speak to the origins, the genesis of this event. It really is a quality event. It provokes collaborative thought leadership and dialogue across so many different diverse but related communities, DoD, industry, the industrial base, and all of that. It's a fantastic It's a fantastic event. So thanks. Comtech's thrilled to be part of it. Thrilled to be a sponsor. We had a good day yesterday. I can summarize it a little bit, but I'll tell you that I think you, Scott, and David should be commended. This is a great event.
Well, thank
Good.
you, sir.
Thank you.
So yeah, we'd love to hear what, maybe some high-level takeaways from yesterday, and then what you look forward to today.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks. I'll tell you, I thought yesterday was really interesting. We spent time, there were some common themes that throughout all the events. The Ukraine situation is on everybody's mind, the emerging, what we learned from the gray zone threat vectors like cyber, what we learned in a kinetic context, what we learned in a peer adversary kind of a context, how some of our equipments faced off. I think you know that the Comtech donated equipment that went into the Ukraine, and it resulted in the sale of a lot more, both to the U.S. as well as to the Ukrainians, because it demonstrated that that carried the mail, did its job, okay, even in that type of environment. So the Ukraine situation was a good thing. That theme, the China, the new space era, capabilities and threats, the importance of cyber, the role of AI and machine learning. I thought all of those things are very relevant topics to talk about. General Petraeus, I thought he kicked off the day in a brilliant way, talked about transitioning to a new era of great power rivalries. He talked about, again, the independence, the war for independence for Ukraine. He talked about China and Taiwan. Interestingly enough, he talked about a concerning situation that's emerging in Latin America, and I thought that was compelling. It was thought-provoking because I hadn't really turned our attention to that part of the world. I thought General Shaw's discussion of the third space age was particularly interesting. He talked about the conjunction of all the space sectors. He talked about new threats. He talked about debris and the role debris is playing in the decision calculus, tactics as well as strategy, and how we have to deal with that. He talked about the importance of space in a JADC2 context. And I thought that was really interesting, especially on the heels of the various strategy documents that have come out recently talking about the key role that space plays as the backbone of JADC2. I thought General Alexander was particularly compelling in his discussion with Kevin Mandia on cyber, but also when he talked with Major General Kim Kreider on machine learning and AI and how this helps us understand and report and respond to a cyber threat vectors. These threat vectors are diverse in their nature. They're diverse in the geography and their attack vectors. And he talked about building a radar picture for cyber that blended situational awareness picture for cyber that we could all see. And then Kevin Mandia, of course, one of our awardees spoke to in his shields up concept. And he talked about the fact that cyber defense is a team game. He talked about the fact that when a cyber attack is successful, it should only be successful once. And then across the board, we should be able to engage in a team concept in order to defend against that threat going forward. So I thought that was really interesting. Lastly, I'll mention that Nina Schick was an author that frankly I personally wasn't very familiar with, but her discussion about deep fakes and the information warfare associated with synthetic media and the way AI is creating that. The fact that we're moving into an age where as much as 90% of media information could be synthetically developed, even by amateurs, using tools that are becoming rapidly available, and the need to authenticate material at the time it's authored or the time it's captured. And I thought that was a particularly thought-provoking interval. So I thought the whole day was good, David. I thought it's one of the most compelling days I think we've had in the American Future Series through the years. I thought it was a great day. Today's going to be fantastic too. Today we've got our 5-star award, Jeff Bezos. That's going to be a terrific event. And then our John Hyten awardee is also, I think that those are obviously the flagship events today. I'm really looking forward to those.
Well, thank you for summarizing that. It helps give people some perspective of what to look forward to, and I hope from that people get an understanding that they should be inviting their friends. We appreciate you all being here, but let them know that it's available. Send them the link. We don't care if they pay. If they're a friend of yours, they're a friend of ours. Because you registered, please give it to people so people can join Ken and all the other great people here. And we did have a couple of great additions. We've added the most recent Supreme Allied Commander of Europe, General Todd Wolters. That's coming in at the end of the day. We've added National Security Advisor KT McFarland. So these are recent additions that people may not be aware of, et cetera. So some really interesting things to look forward to towards the end of the day. Unfortunately, Dr. Kissinger couldn't join us. He'll hopefully join us next time. You know, things can come up, and the gentleman is 99 years old, so I'm not going to worry too much about that sort of thing. And we'll be honored if Dr. Kissinger can join us here in the future. Ken, this has been great. Your support's been fantastic. I do want to say one thing that people I think really need to hear about. Everything we're talking about here has to do with U.S. global competitiveness and national security and in relationship to our near peers, and in particular to China. So we're going to be talking about China. We're going to be talking about what China is like, what China does every day. They wake up every day wanting to control the world, and we've seen recent events. We're going to talk about those. But these are serious matters. None of this is not child's play, and this is important. And I feel it's very good to have everyone that we can hear these messages, hear from people like you, people who have solutions, people who have recommendations, people who don't just wring their hands saying, hey, gosh golly, this is important, that people hear that we're talking about serious issues, et cetera, in a way that people can consume and understand, and so that they can connect on and maybe do something about. And this would not be possible at all, Ken, if it wasn't for your patronage, and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I'll tell you, your remarks about China are right on. I mean, China's playing a long game, but the tactics and the toolbox that's in play is being applied against us every single day, and it's really important that we have an awareness of that. It's really important that we're diligent about that. You know, we in the West can have a shorter kind of a 2-year or 4-year mindset because our political system operates on that kind of a timeline, and we need to be particularly attentive to the strategic inflection that's going on right now. How is China watching the situation in Ukraine? How are they learning from that? How is that affecting how they're going to move and adapt going forward? These are issues that are not just timely; they're critical to the survival and the continued sovereignty of our nation. It's an important dialogue. We need to be attentive to it. Thank you for American Future Series for bringing it forward and creating the venue. Comtech is proud to be your title sponsor.
Thank you, sir. And so with that, sir, we're going to say goodbye for now, but we'll have you coming back, of course, throughout the day. And we're going to start here with a conversation with a personal hero of mine. His name is Fengsho Zhou, and I always butcher his name. But he is one of the original Tiananmen Square activists, et cetera, living in exile in the United States. We're very proud to be partnering with Epic Times, who's helping us broadcast, stream all of this content. And everyone, you can find it all on YouTube. It's all going to be on YouTube if you missed it. But I personally am very excited that Fengsho Zhou is going to be joining us, and with Jan Jekielek of Epic Times for a wonderful interview. And so we'd like to turn it over to them. And thank you, Ken, for your time. We'll be talking with you soon.
You bet.